Hello, Acharja agus Falcha. Hello, my friends, and welcome. I'm so glad you're here. You know, the Irish from the earliest times have believed that words and language can affect reality, can change things. We tend to say today, oh, it's just, he just said that, it was a bit of hot air. Not the Irish, not at all. And so if you have a problem, if you've got a roadblock, or if you've got something that you'd like to change, I have something for you today from Irish mythology that I think can really help. It's a little bit of charged language, an invocation, and a way of taking command through language to make something better. So that's what we're all about. So welcome again. I'm glad you're here. My name is Kate, and I am a professor of Irish language and folklore, and I'm also, like most of you, a creator. I'm a poet and a singer and a storyteller and a harper and all the things, a writer, and I love bringing these two worlds together because I think together Irish tradition and creativity are powerful and empowering. So as I said, this idea that language can do things, language can act upon the world, is a very ancient one in Ireland. We have it in charms. For instance, if you're a bone setter, one of the charms that is in Ireland, although it's in many European countries, is bone to bone, sinew to sinew. That is a charm that is said or sort of chanted while doing bone setting. We also have charms of making things happen in the natural world. I always, as an example, come back to the hymn for May Day, or the Oran na Bealtaine, the song of May Day, when we sing Hugamar Hain and Sauru Lin, we ourselves brought the summer with us. It's a sense that human agency can actually make the season happen. Now we see this kind of efficacy of language in an early a bit of mythology called the Lever Gavala. It's a medieval text, but it means the Book of Invasions, and it is a kind of I hate to call it a pseudo-history, although that's what most people call it. It's a great story, a great imaginative story about the waves of invaders who came to Ireland and how one gave way to the next. Now, the last wave of invaders to come were called the Sons of Meal, and they are kind of the ancestors of the Irish in Ireland today. They're sort of like human beings with, I guess we could say human beings plus, because they are still kind of mythologically powerful. And among them is a poet called Avragan. And I'll write these things down for you in the sources below. Avragan's words had a real effect. And that's what I want to share with you today, and so that we can play with Avragan's language and see what we can make of it. So when the Sons of Meal were trying to come to land, the last wave of the last peoples to take the country of Ireland necessarily wanted to keep them out of it. And so they conjured a wind, a druidic wind, to keep them, to keep their boats from landing. And Avragan was requested by his leader to do something, and so he did. He said this poem, looking at Ireland from the boat. He said, I invoke the land of Ireland. Much coursed be the fertile sea. Fertile be the fruit-strewn mountain. Fruit-strewn be the showery wood. Showery be the river of waterfalls. Of waterfalls be the lake of deep pools. Deep pooled be the hilltop well. And it goes on. And as soon as he finished saying the poem, the druidic wind died away, and the Sons of Meal were able to land on the island of Ireland. Now, listen to that structure again. I invoke the land of Ireland. So that's powerful because it's not even their country yet. And he's saying, it's our country. I invoke it. I'm calling it, right? To invoke something is to call forth, to call it forward. I invoke it. And then he tells us the qualities of it. Much coursed be the fertile sea, fertile be the fruit-strewn wood. So notice that the last adjective is the first adjective of the next line. So much coursed be the fertile sea, fertile be the fruit-strewn mountain, fruit-strewn be the showery wood. So all of these things that he wants to call forth from Ireland, even when he's not even standing on its soil yet, he's doing through this poem, which has the power to stop this druidic wind and allow them to land. Once he does land, he's actually, once they do land, Avergan is the first person to step foot on Ireland's soil. And I think that is so powerful. It's powerful because it reminds us of the power of poetry and poets in Ireland, that the idea that the very first human being to ever walk on Irish ground was a poet. Isn't that wonderful, creators? I love that. And also that there's a sense that a poet and poetry made the land what it is, because the very next thing he does is some more shaping of the land through language. And this is, I think, really delightful. He sang afterward to increase fish in the creeks. Fishful sea, fertile land, burst of fish, fish under wave with courses of birds, rough sea, a white wall with hundreds of salmon, broad whale, a port song, a burst of fish. Fishful sea. That is so marvelous. He's saying what it's going to be. It's going to be full of fish. This little charm, this invocation is full of fish, right? A white wall with hundreds of salmon. We're going to have plenty here. This is going to be exactly what we want. So I thought those two things are powerful because the first of them solves a problem. I invoke the land of Ireland. And I think this would be a powerful thing to use to make a charm ourselves. What do we want to overcome or in some way claim? Now, you could invoke your courage. You could invoke the land of poetry. You could invoke a world of success. You could invoke the gods of HR, even if that's something that you need to change. And then you could make a poem with that structure of I invoke the land of Ireland, much coursed be the fertile sea, fertile. So maybe, I invoke the land of courage, full of heart be my words full of whatever. Go that way and invoke something, or even just I invoke what it is that you want. If you want to keep it really simple, I invoke, I call forth. And then try this very simple formula of, instead of fishful, unless you do want a lot of fish, you can, use something full. So this could be beautiful, or wonderful be, or make your, and I encourage you, make your own language here, happy full, or starful, that would be a good one, or healthful, be, whatever. I invoke whatever it is that you want to claim for yourself, and then imbue it with qualities, especially using that full, healthful, be the whatever. So we could say, I invoke the world of creativity, joyful, be my travels there. Just that's right, successful, be my days. What else do we want full? Discoverful, how about that? Curiosityful. The things that you want in your creative life, perhaps, if that's what you're trying to invoke. See what you think. Have some fun with that. I'd love to see this in the comments. Invoke something. What is the difference between light language that makes no difference, that is just a wisp that floats away, and language that does make a difference? It's all in you. It's all in me. It's all in all of us. It's our intention. It's It's the way we aim ourselves through words that can make all the difference. So try this, please do. I feel like sometimes we forget that we are actually steering the ship. You know, I often say that the hardest thing about magic is remembering to use it. And this is a bit of word magic, a bit of artistry magic. And it's well within our power to just play with it. And honestly, the playing is the magic, where we just say, I don't know, I'm just going to invoke this thing I want. It could be the megabucks. It could be publication. It could be a better friend. It could be feeling better or a good night's sleep. I invoke a good night's sleep. Slumberful be me in my bed tonight. Try it and aim it a little bit. Give it a little juice. Know that you can do this. People always have, and it does make a difference. So please share with us in the comment, what are you invoking and what are you going to make full? And just to say, when I shared this poem with my class this summer, one of the young women who I really love said, that's just a bit of fishful thinking instead of wishful thinking. So I love that. So fishful thinking. Let's actually indulge in some fishful and wishful thinking and play with language. So thank you for being here. Thank you, everybody. I'm really having the loveliest time with you. I really do feel like we're building a lovely community. Last week, your comments about what you're all claiming, those identities, so beautiful. Keep them coming. So share with us what you're invoking and the fullness of it. Please do like the video. It really does help me a lot. Maybe share this with somebody you think might like it. And if you want to, subscribe, because it's just lovely to be together. So I hope you have a wonderful week, and I hope that you bring into your world, through language, in the most fun, the most delightful and easy way possible, your heart's desire. Slana Nishakarja.